Hi, happy Wednesday. So, if you're here, say hi. I am gonna try to figure out one little thing. It may not work. So give me just a moment. I have struggled to get the live into the actual event that I create each month. So I'm going to try to share it in the event, but I have no idea if that will work. So I don't know. All right, so bear with me. Give me just a moment to figure out where it is. You know, everything moves around all the time. I can't even find the event that I created. So, groups, I don't have a group. Event. Let's see if I can share it in the event. No, it just wants to create one. So, I guess we're good. We're going to skip that for now. I can only go directly into the event without using my streaming software. And then I can't use my two cameras. So I'll have to figure that out. For now, I wanted you to see this beautiful face. All right, so it is Wednesday. I'm Nicole with Equally Creative by Nicole. I am a paper crafter in Louisiana, and I'm here to share some inspiration with you. So right now is the tail end of Stampin' Up's annual celebration event, and 2 more days for free products just for shopping for things that you love. Um, I'm in love with all of our stuff. So if you're not a stuff person, we also offer experiences. So I do classes, I do birthday parties. Um, we can have get togethers. I like to sew, I like to quilt. So there's a variety of hobbies that I enjoy, and this is just one that I like to share with you. So let me get to sharing. All right. So again, this is one of the free items that you can receive with a $50 purchase. So for example, if you like anything that I'm sharing tonight, you could place an order for, let's say, a stamp set and an ink pad and a pack of note cards and envelopes, and you would get a free class with that. And that free class is one of each of my cards that I'm sharing tonight, with all of the pre-cut papers that go with it, including this gorgeous, gorgeous designer series paper. Now, the class is free with a $35 purchase. However, with a $50 purchase, you're going to get my class. You'll get an extra embellishment from me for free, and Stampin' Up's going to throw in something extra for free at the $50 level. So that's a lot of extra things. So if you like a bargain, today's your day, right? So this is a little sampler of all the papers that are in here. They are double-sided. You get 2 of each of the papers. These just show our coordinating colors. Let's see. Woo. So this is what the pack of paper looks like. It just comes like this. Our designer series paper is fabulous in regards to giving you all of our coordinated colors listed right there on the package. So that one is not open, but I do have one that is, to show you some larger pieces of these so you can really get a nice view of them. Okay, so here is the clouds on the front, and here is the clouds on the back. If you're a scrapbooker, this is also beneficial to you. We've got these beautiful flowers here on this Poppy Parade red with our, petal pink plaid color on the back. It's not showing as pink or peachy as it should on my screen. Sorry. I did that one already. All right, so we've got this guy, which is this beautiful green and black with a touch of white. And on the other side, happy, happy rainbows. Who doesn't love a rainbow, right? All right. I am a strawberry lover, so it is definitely by far my favorite fruit. And this paper has become one of my favorites with this beautiful butterfly background on the back side. We've got this fun field of flowers with this beautiful blue background. It's got some sunshines on there. That was the front. Okay, so I also love cherries. Now I'm going to show you a stamp set that I did not end up using with this paper for tonight's class. But if you have the Swedish cherries and the cherry builder, you can definitely make some really cute cards with this paper and those cherries because they go together like peanut butter and jelly. And on the back of that is this extra gorgeous. It looks so different on my camera. I just don't know why. And I'm going to wipe it with my lens cleaner just in case I've smudged the camera. So give me 1 second. Sorry about that. There we go. See if that helps at all. Nope, not at all. Obviously, it's not my camera. It might be my lighting. And that is it. So you get 12 of these pages, double-sided, ready for you to craft into some really cute projects. I have used 1 pack of this paper completely so far. So we are working on the next round. Let me know if you are in need of some already created cards, and we'll get together and I'll get some made for you. So again, this is just that little snippet, which is funny because that shows a little bit clearer on my camera. Weird. All right. So let's go ahead and dive right in to our very first card for the night. We are going to be creating a cute little hello. And I've got some pieces and parts here. I'm going to share these with you. So we have a card base, and I'm going to verbally tell you the measurements. One day I might get really good and have one of those pages set up with all the measurements for you to screenshot. I'm not quite there yet, but that is one of the things I think I enjoy when I watch others. So I may start doing that to help some of you. All right, so my card base is 5.5 by 8.5. It is scored at 4 1/4. We're using this in the landscape position today. So when I cut my paper, I also cut this in landscape. When you get yours, if you decide you like this better, you can turn it over. This is really up to you. I'm going to use the end of some tape runner tonight, and I will share just how to change that out when that happens. Oh, and you know what? I messed it up already. So I have this cut to the same size as my white sheet. But what I would like to do, because I liked the look of having this little white edge around there, I'm going to trim this down. I'm going to get some tape on my cutter, but it's not a big deal. So this is my Stampin' trimmer, and I'm just going to trim 1/4 of an inch off of each side so that that extra little white will show. Just gives it an extra matted look. So when you get yours, you will also want to not forget, before you've got it all stuck together, to do that extra little trimming. And like I said, it's just 1/4 inch off each side. You could also do like a deckled rectangle here if you are a die cut person. You could do a scalloped contour. Any of those would work. Okay, so now we're going to add this layer on here. And again, it is directional. So I want to make sure that my flowers will be in the right direction on the card when it's standing up. Okay. I'm going to add my butterfly layer because I want butterflies to show. So I'm covering up those beautiful strawberries. And we're going to bring this directly across from side to side of the card base. You can do this in the middle, or you could bring it down a little bit if you wanted to. I did mine right across the middle. And then I'm going to add a little bit of adhesive straight across here. And obviously I did not cut my piece for myself. And I'm basically going to take this gingham ribbon and I'm making a zigzag on here, like a Z, a little bit backwards. I want to make sure that sticks out over both of these. And then I do like to cut this at an angle so it doesn't fray too badly once I stick it back on the shelf. And I do also, because I have these, I like to go ahead and thin this down so I have less waste in the end. And now I'm going to sit this aside. That ribbon is just waiting for my next step, which is going to be to stamp with the one stamp set I don't think I included in the description, which is the Heartfelt Hellos. I have done a whole class on this, so you can find that on the YouTube channel. Let's see. So we're going to use Hello, and I'm using Pebbled Path. It is dark enough on here that it is not really going to look much different than if I were to use black, but we used Pebbled Path on another card, so I'm going to go ahead and use it here as well. Okay, and that was me cleaning it on the chamois really quickly. Sounds like my kiddo might be home from softball. All right. Now, I like to use 2 different layers, and when I'm doing that, I can create an extra layer. So you can just offset these and have them like this, but I like to cut the backs, and I actually did a wonky cut here, but it makes it a little tricky. So you want to line it back up before you separate it. So I did like this, separate that a little bit, and then I'm going to put a tiny bit of glue on the top and bottom of my sentiment piece here. And then simply putting this, just letting it drop. Good thing I used glue because I can kind of separate this and smush it around until I like it before that glue is completely adhered. And I am simply trying to match up those edges just like that. And you got to wait just a moment or you will twist and turn it. There we go. So now I can turn this over. Let's see if that works for me. And I can add dimensionals to this. These are our foam adhesive pieces that will keep everything elevated off the card and give it a little pop of dimension. So I'm going to pull the backings off of these. All right, let's see. Sometimes my fingernails don't work and I just pull out my Take-A-Pick tool. So if you have that same problem, that's how you fix it. So I am just simply layering this And I'm doing this kitty corner cattywampus thing today. So I'm going to twist this just a little bit and stick that on there so it's a little slanted, my little hello. And then I am going to use two different embellishments today. These are the rainbow adhesive backed dots. They go, I believe, with our I was going to say flight and airy paper, but that's not correct. It goes with our hot air balloon set, which is pretty cool. And on this one, I did 3 large dots down the side, but I think I'm gonna do a large dot in the middle. And a small dot on the top and the bottom. Again, this is the Take a Pick tool. It's really helpful when you have these teeny tiny little things to pick up. It has a putty end and it's got another end that you can use a couple of different tools with, as well as a an embossing, a dry embossing tool piece. Words escape me at the moment. Okay, so the second one we're going to use are these brushed brass butterflies. Yes, it is all 3 words. Brushed brass butterflies. We're going to use this again. And I'm just going to put a couple of those on there because the butterflies in the flowers just make sense to me. So that's what I did. Okay. So here is card number 1 for the evening. Now we'll move on to card number 2. Card number 2 is also fairly easy to put together with a little pop of surprise element here. So this card is also a double layer for the top, but we're going to raise that whole top off. So let's see. If you ever have ribbon that occasionally gets twisted on the spool, you can kind of flatten that out. And if this doesn't work, grab your hair straightener and straighten it out. Works really well with a hair straightener. So we have this white piece that we're going to stamp on. And I did You Are Loved Beyond Measure, but I think I wanted to do something different. So let me grab this and well, I did not pull it out. Oh, here it is. Perennial postage. Okay. So this one I decided to do Thank You for Your Friendship. So that I had a couple of different ones. And I didn't list this one. You can use whatever stamp you have. You could use a happy birthday. They will all work. We're going to use Poppy Parade, which matches the paper that's in here. And we're going to go ahead and get our stamp done first. Now, remember that today's featured product is the paper. So there are no stamps or inks or any of that kind of stuff within the paper itself. But I did list almost everything I'm using here this evening. You can use what you have at home. It does not have to be the ones that I have listed. But again, if you need any guidance with that, just let me know. So this says, thank you for your friendship. I was looking for a nice clean image, and I love that. And that is the only stamping we're going to do for this one here. So let's assemble this. So we're going to assemble this on this black piece, and then I have, I think this is Pool Party or Coastal Cabana. Let me see. Pool Party. So these are our double-sided pieces. We're going to use this and this. So let's go ahead and get some tape on there, some adhesive. Now the trick is you're going to place this at the top, giving it about the same amount of space around the paper on these three sides. Okay. Then we're going to go ahead and do the same thing on the bottom. You're leaving a space in the center. So I actually like to turn it this way so I can see a little bit better. Okay, so now that is the top of my card. Now I am going to go ahead and add this through the center before I put the ribbon on. I'm lining this up with the edge of my designer series paper, and I'm covering up that center. Okay, and that is exactly what it's going to do. All right, so the next part, I'm going to put this ribbon, and you will have plenty of ribbon to do this in yours as well. So I've folded this around, but I'm just doing a tiny bit of adhesive on the edges. Well, of course, this will be where I run out, right? Okay, there we go. Real life people. All right, so I am pushing that down, and again, I'm going to snip that, and I will turn this over. If I don't like where it is, I can kind of shift that or adjust it based on where my adhesive is in the back. So I am comfortable with this. I'm going to go ahead and mount this entire piece on dimensionals. And I use a good amount for this because it is popping up this entire layer. Don't forget that your dimensionals do have edges, border edges that you can snip up. We're going to do that in just a moment because that's what I will need to do in order to not open a whole nother pack right here. All right, take a pick tool to the rescue. Okay, so on my card, now let me tell you, I said I was going to tell you all the measurements and I totally didn't do it. So this card base is 4 1/4 by 11, scored at 5 1/2, folded portrait style. This black piece is 5 by 4 by 5 1/4. The black piece is 4 by 5 1/4. I thought I had the measurements on there. And then these pieces are just under 4 by 2 1/2. So, and they spread out. And actually, I think I just gave you the wrong measurements because I think the black one is 4 1/8 by 5 3/8. And this is 4 by 2 1/2. All right, so this whole layer is popped up so you can see it gives it a little, just a little zhuzh there. Okay, so now I'm going to just take this ribbon and create a bow. And the reason I did it this way is because this bow is going to sit nice and pretty right on this, and then I will snip these. So I am going to use a mini glue dot because these work really, really well at holding this. And I'm just going to put that, I think I'm going to hide it in the center. So let's keep it in the center. All right, so that is there, and then I'm just simply going to trim this to where it looks pretty decent. And then we're going to add this petal pink color because it coordinates very well. And I'm using my rule of threes for this one. And really like what I did last time, so I'm going to copy that. And I did 2 on here and 1 towards the bottom. So that is card number 2. This card was inspired by Jeannie Stark. Make sure I'm giving some credit out there. So Jeannie Stark is a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator as well. This ribbon's a little bit bigger than the other one. Could be okay. So there you can see a teeny tiny bow and a little bit larger of a bow. Card number 2. Okay. Card number 3 features the clouds. It also features the Bright Skies bundle that I did list in the description. So you can see this is so much fun, and all of the cutouts that go with it. So, excuse me. So I did use some of the cloud cutouts and the sunshine cutout for this card. And I used some of these. If you just want stamps, you can fussy cut. I have also included an extra sheet of the paper. So there's at least a couple of clouds on each piece of paper that you could fussy cut. Fussy cut simply means you're using your scissors to cut it out. I did do some punching on that one, so we will do some die cutting on this one here this evening. So in your kit, you've got another 4 1/4 by 11 card base, scored at 5 1/2, portrait. Okay. You have a piece for the inside, which if you want to stamp in there one of these little elements, you can. I'm going to put some paper in there, so I'm just putting that aside for now. Again, we're going to do some layers. Oh my gosh, I was all about the layers this week. So we're going to layer this onto here. And then before I do that, I'm going to go ahead and stamp my sentiment in the top corner. And I am doing Pebbled Path for this part. It says, "You brighten my cloudy days," and I'm stamping it in the upper right hand corner. It is a clear photopolymer, so I can simply see through there. And I think I used the smoky slate on the first one because it doesn't look as dark. Who knows? We're about to use both of those anyway. You will have an extra piece of cardstock with your kit so that you can use this to stamp your clouds and your sunshine. So I did the largest cloud in the Pebbled Path, the darker design. I'm simply gonna put this on here, leaving enough space so that I can die cut that out later. Okay. Then I used the smoky slate for the smaller cloud, this one right here. And I want to leave enough space between my clouds so I'll be able to cut it in the die cut machine. And the cool thing is, if you have the big machine, you can run this through one time and it's going to cut all of your pieces. So the last color I used is going to be the Daffodil Delight. Ooh, sorry, for the sunshine. Let me go ahead and get that listed. I need to refill my Daffodil Delight, so I'm kind of stamping in the outer edges here where I have lots more ink because I really liked the bold sunshine. Okay. So now I'm going to take this over to my machine. But before I do that, I'll show you how I'm going to put this together so that I only have to run it through one time. So I've got this cloud cut out right here. I've got some washi tape that's going to kind of hold that in place so it doesn't go too far when I run it through the machine. Then I'll take that smaller cloud, put that on there. Could I fill this sheet with other images? Absolutely. I want to keep it nice and clean so you all can see that. All right, the trickiest part is the sunshine. So I tried and tried and tried to figure out if there was a clue on how on earth this goes, but I ended up just turning it to the best of my ability, taping it down and cutting it out. So here's what I'm going to go do. I'm going to throw this on my machine, which is out of the camera view. And I'm sending it through this machine. I could have used the mini and cut up that paper and gone through 3 times on the mini, but I prefer to just run things one time if possible. So here's what that looks like. Work smarter, not harder, right? All right, so we've got our sunshine, our small cloud, and our large cloud. And I will set that right there for now. All right, we are ready to put this the rest of the way together. All right, so I'm going to layer my DSP, my designer series paper, on my first cardstock layer. Again, simple centering. Get that lined up. Okay. My sun is going to be the first thing that gets adhered. You could use your glue, however you want to glue that down. Okay, so that's the sun. Then I put on dimensionals my large cloud. And remember I said we don't waste anything here. We use it up. So simply snipped all around those edges. And I'm going to put my cloud, my largest cloud, on dimensionals. And I left this so that it is kind of hiding just a little bit of that sun. And it's pretty big, so you have to kind of center it. Sunshine peeking out there. And now I'm going to add this one, and you can kind of decide where you want this one. And what I did was I added a tiny piece of the dimensionals on the bottom, and then a tiny bit of glue at the tippy top, and then kind of slid it onto the cloud so that it was supported by the large cloud and by these dimensionals at the bottom. So just put a tiny bit of glue up here. And got like it over here, so slide that up till it kind of hits the bottom of this cloud. And then you can see how they are basically the same level, nice and flat here. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and pop this up on dimensionals as well, because that was the theme for the evening. was to have layers and dimensionals and things that pop up. So that is our goal. All right. And this was kind of sort of inspired by somebody. I don't recall who, but I changed it a whole lot. So I don't recall. I like to give credit when I've cased somebody's stuff. Okay, so I don't like this because it's a little off center. I'm going to gently pop this back up so I can reposition it. And if you don't smush it so hard, you have a couple of seconds to kind of carefully peel this away if you want to be particular, which sometimes I am, sometimes I'm not. If you've been around me, you'll know that. I think I'm going to turn this so that I can go sideways. Okay, so now I'm smushing that down so it doesn't tilt and turn. Again, it's probably not perfect, but perfection is not what we're going for. So the fun part here is that I took my Wink of Stella and I really made the sun sparkle. You can see the sparkle. So I just kind of shake this up a little bit. Your Wink of Stella can be finicky. Don't squeeze really hard or you'll end up with a mess. So I just do a little gentle squeeze at the beginning and then I'll start kind of gently painting with it. If I determine it needs another gentle squeeze, I'll just do a little tiny squeeze again and continue to paint with this. Pretty sure the sparkle doesn't show up on the camera there, but just know that it really added a fun element to this card without too much effort. And it looks like $1 million, but it didn't cost $1 million, right? Ooh, throwing things around. All right, so let's see if I can make that shimmer and shine for you. There you go. There you go. All right, so card number 2 does receive some of the same color dots as the paper here. So I used these and I added them to my cloud. And I only added 2 this time. I didn't do a 3 because I just liked it with 2. So even though there's a rule of thumb, you don't always have to follow an exact rule. Okay. So I'm going to take my paper and do a cloud border. So this is a 5 1/4 piece of paper for the inside. It's 4 by 5 1/4. And I'm going to trim this down to 1 by 5 1/4. So and then I will still have some extra paper for some scrap play later. So this one is simply going to get a little bit of Stampin' Seal. And we'll put this on the edge. And you can put this on the left or the right. It does not matter. Just a little extra fun for the inside. The only thing that matters is that the clouds are going in the right direction. So you're going to center this on the inside and push that down. And then you have a little extra fun for the inside. Okay. All right. So that was card number 3. Now I've saved the fun trick card for the last little bit here. So let me show you what we're going to make. So I wanted something fun and special. So this is a fun fold card. And usually you have a fun fold card and you just tuck it and it's fine. But I wanted something that pops out and that you could still see when it is standing up. So you can see that that sentiment shows right there. Just like that. All right. So this one was, let's see. Okay, so this is, I did write some measurements down, I'll tell you. So this is 5.5 by 8.5. We're going to score at 4 1/4 and at 2 1/8. Okay. These two pieces are going to be 1 7/8 and by 5 1/4. So you want to be able to have a little bit of a border around each of these pieces. That's why you don't do a full 2 inches. You come down in 1/8. So that's how you get your border, so that even when it's popped up like this, you can see that looks like that. All right. So let me show you how that works. You can use this trick with a variety of things, and I'm going to say that you can use it even without a punch. I've seen some other cards that have a similar mechanism, and I used a punch. You don't have to. You can use some rectangles. Okay, so I've got all the pieces. They're already cut for you. You don't have to worry about the measurements. Here's our inside piece. The only thing on the inside is our little strawberry and one of our decorative dots there. So I'm going to go ahead and put this in. And center this in. I really love this. This is the largest rectangle in the scalloped contour bundle, and it's just phenomenal. And let's go ahead and get our strawberry paper on and our extra little piece there. So again, you're centering this top, bottom, left, right of the score marks, and we will do the same for this one. All right. Okay, so we're going to do some stamping next. So we need to create our strawberry. Actually, I have a piece out here somewhere. So here's what the strawberry looks like with our Memento black ink, but I really decided that it just looked fine with the Poppy Parade, and then I did use some blends to color it in. Okay. So let's go ahead and stamp our strawberry on our sentiment first, because that is our lighter color. So this is Petal Pink, and I'm just going to do 3 strawberries in the middle that we're going to stamp over with our sentiment. I'm going to grab my chamois here because I did stamp off a little bit. I don't want to get that anywhere. So we're done with this color. So now I can use this darker color. I didn't have to clean it first. That was the whole point of using this color, but it's automatic, especially when the chamois has full color on it, ready to go, right? Or water on it, ready to go. All right, so we're also using the Poppy Parade for the sentiment, which is Hope Your Day is Sweet. You can see that stamps right over those light colored strawberries beautifully. You can still see them. So Now we will put this ink away. And we're going to color in this strawberry and set this aside. So I did use Calypso Coral, the light and the dark, because it just made such a pretty strawberry. So I started with the light, then I added some shading along the edges with the dark. And then I came back in with the light and just kind of blended that. And you can see what that ends up looking like after a little bit. Okay. And then I added the light Granny Apple Green for my leaves. Okay. Now the fun part is that we have this strawberry stamp comes from the ice cream swirl, which I will be using for another class. And it also has the cutest little strawberry die cut. So for this one, I can stay right here at this table and pull the mini down and run this through. So what I want to do before I can do that is I have to make this a little bit smaller to get it through the mini. But the same process and technique apply here. So I'm going to grab one of these pieces of washi tape and reuse it for the strawberry. I'm just lining this up. All right. The mini is so convenient when it works out, because I can just get this and I don't have to go anywhere to do this. I don't have to rearrange anything. I do like that it folds up and clicks out of the way, makes a little bit of noise. I'm sure you can hear that on the video, but it's really not that bad in real life. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and put my strawberry. I'm not going to put the strawberry on yet. I'm going to show you this first. So let's say you want to do this with a punch. You're going to punch 3. You're going to fold 2 of them in half and burnish that really nicely with a bone folder or something similar. And you're going to do that with both sides. And you'll see how this could have easily been like a rectangle, but I wanted I just wanted it to be fully supported in the same way. All right. So now I have these 2 halves that are folded, and I'm going to put adhesive on those, and I'm going to flatten this right on top so that they align as perfectly as possible. So just lining this up in my hands. Oh, out of the camera, but it's in my hands, and I'm pushing down. Okay, so you can see what that looks like. All right, and now I'm going to do the same thing on the other side. So that they meet up in the middle here. And we have this little, I don't even know, like a V on each side, okay? So this is important so that our sentiment will stick out when the card is being shown or displayed in an upright fashion. And I chose to put these on dimensionals. So I'm going to snip some more dimensionals to go on these edges. And then I'll peel these off. And now I am going to line up my sentiment on the front panel here. And I just wanted to do this as centered as possible, so I can see where the center is. And did I get that? All right, we got it. Okay, so you do want to score this and fold it and burnish it before you add those, or you'll think and panic that you did it wrong. So here is what that looks like now, standing up and laying down. Okay, now just because you want to be able to tuck that in under there so that it stays open, you're going to want to prop up your strawberry as well. So let's prop up our strawberry on dimensionals here. And the reason we didn't put it on first is because we wanted to make sure we knew how far our fold needed to go. And I like to tilt my strawberry here, so I'm going to tilt it on an edge. And now we're going to add those beautiful stones, rainbow adhesive back dots. And I loved these darker ones for this one, and did put a little tiny one here, and I'm going to close this and put some down here. So here is card number 4. So card number 4 opens like this, and if you give it to somebody, they can put it on their desk and it will look like this or like this. See, this kind of moves so they can see it. All right, and that is our class for the night. So don't forget to let me know if you're watching the replay. I know there are a gazillion consultants out there going live at the same time, and I kind of missed a couple weeks. I'm grateful for those of you who catch me on the replay tonight. I look forward to coming back next week with some new items. Actually, I'm gonna come live tomorrow night with an extra fun last day of celebration little live. So I hope you come back tomorrow or catch it on the replay, either way. And I'll see you again next week. I hope you have a really great rest of your week, and I'll see you soon. Bye.